All right, cool. So for the last award, MVP, who you got?
Kyrie.
I
think Kyrie's gonna come out and give you about with the way he was looking. Again, it's just preseason. It's preseason defense. But again, one thing somebody pointed out wasn't that much dribbling.
Yeah.
He actually wasn't dribbling that much.
No.
Even though I fucking love when Kyrie dribbles.
Yeah.
But I think I think Kyrie will get the easiest 28-point games of his career that he's ever gotten.
Yeah.
And also playing with Horford at center. Horford can pass, man.
Yeah.
Horford can pass. Like that give and go is gonna be great. They're gonna move the ball around. I think that they're actually going to have way more ball movement than what they had last year with IT, because I think you can do more with Kyrie than you can with IT. You can give Kyrie the ball in more places than you could.
Yeah, way more.
IT.
You give him post, you can give him catch and shoot,
Anywhere.
all of it. Yeah.
I think this year people will understand why I said Kyrie as a better offensive player than Steph Curry.
He's not.
But anyway, I think Kyrie will end up averaging about 28, 7, 4. And he'll probably give you a steal a game too, honestly. And I think Boston will probably end up winning close to 60 games.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyrie will be MVP.
Okay.
And LeBron is my dog horse for MVP.
All right. So my MVP pick, and I know this is gonna sound blasphemous, but I think that this is the year, because everybody's picking LeBron to be dark horse. I think this is the year Steph potentially wins another MVP. And look, the only reason why I say this is because I've been playing 2K my career. And in my career, Steph averaged like 29. He averaged like 29, like 7 assists and like 5 rebounds. And the Warriors went crazy. And KD wound up averaging 24, 8, and like 4, and like a block and a steal a game, which is still great numbers for KD. I feel like as disrespected as Stephen Curry has been for the past 2 years, because the 3-1 thing, it was what it was. They lost. It was bad. Disrespected that year. Even last year, coming off this season, still feel like he's been disrespected all summer by everybody.
He's just not the best player on the team. That's the only
reason. He's been being disrespected for 2 years. So I think this is the year. As I said before, and I tweeted the other night, you like, what kind of stupid questions is like, is this the year Kevin Durant feels accomplished and gets complacent?
I don't think so.
I don't necessarily think that he gets complacent and gets bad. I'm not saying he's going to be bad. But now that he's won his ring, I feel like the monkey is kind of off his back. So if we've always said that Kevin Durant is not a number one in mentality, then he only really last year, even in the playoffs, because he was hurt for some of the time, really needed to just show up and close out in those big moments. Most of the time, it wasn't like he spent the whole game like going off crazy for 20-point, 12-point, 14-point rips. He just was Kevin Durant. We always talk about how easy it is for him to score very efficiently. That's just who he is. And he just happened to make the plays that propelled them and put them over the top, which is why he won Finals MVP, and he was very clearly the best player on that floor to me. So I think that he is content. And I think even the fact, seeing the shit that he does on the internet, like, I still feel that Steph Curry is the heart of this team, and I think last year he showed that he was the heart of this team, and he's still very clearly the leader. Which to me, even though Kevin Durant is the best player on the team, he's not the leader. So I think that everyone on that team unanimously knows that Steph is the leader, and they go as Steph goes. And I think that this year, as much as everybody's picking LeBron to be in this MVP conversation, I think we need to stop disrespecting Steph Curry, because him and his teams, the teams that he have been on and the teams that he has led for the past 4 years, this has been the best 4-year stretch of basketball any human beings have ever seen. And there's one common denominator in it, and that's him. So I think people need to stop disrespecting him, because you praise LeBron for getting to the finals, but I don't hear people heaping praise to Steph for getting there for 4 years. And all people say is he's had a better team. It's like, well, if LeBron is a top 10 player of all time and Steph isn't, LeBron should be able to do more than Steph does with less. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. So I think I'm taking Steph, and my dark horse is Giannis. I think Giannis has the potential to wow everyone with his statistics, and I think that the Bucks will win 52 games this year, and I think Giannis will be MVP. But that's it for me.
I think that people don't pick Steph because they assume that the Warriors will cancel each other out. I think they'll assume that Steph and KD will rise to the same level of greatness, and they'll pretty much cancel each other out.
So if they win 70, if this season they win 70 games and Steph is averaging more points per game this season than KD, and has another 50, 40, 90 season, you telling me he doesn't belong to be in that conversation?
But what does KD do? If KD goes, like, let's say Steph goes out there and gives you 28, 5.
He's gonna give you more than five assists. He's been averaging five. He's always gonna give you around 5 rebounds.
28, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and like 2 steals. What if KD goes out there and gives you 27, 8, 4, 1, and 2?
then it depends on who had the bigger moments. But I am a firm
I
believer.
feel like they're gonna cancel each other
But
out,
look,
bro.
but I see, and that's the thing that I don't
And
like.
also, voters get fatigued. They've given it to him twice.
Who? You're not getting fatigue from Steph. He didn't win it last year. Russell Westbrook won it last year.
But he's gotten 2 MVPs.
So they can have fatigue for Steph Curry, but they can't have fatigue for LeBron James.
They can, which is why I'm not 100% sure LeBron with. The only reason why I say LeBron's my dog horse because again, I think his scoring will obviously have to go back up probably. To go back up to about 27. I wouldn't be shocked if he averaged close to 10 rebounds. He almost averaged a triple-double last year, honestly. It was like 25, 8, and 8, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he can get close to averaging a triple-double again. And the fact that Kyrie left, some voters will give him a little bit of credit for the fact that if he can still finish second in the conference or maybe first in the conference, and the fact that IT's been hurt half of the year. So if he comes out and puts up about like 26, 9, 8, a steal and a block, I can see voters giving him a fifth and final MVP. Well, LeBron hasn't won it in like 4 or 5 years now.
He hasn't deserved to win in 4 or 5 years.
I agree.
So I mean, yeah. But I'm cool. I'm cool with that. Let's leave it off there. This is a nice action-packed episode. We had a lot of arguments. Name of this episode has to be LeBron is a bad teammate.
All right.
All right.
He's not, but
he is a bad teammate.